Hello and welcome to Season 3 of Unboxing Women, where we explore why women in business are often called such a bitch. We focus on the music and entertainment industry because that's where we work. My name is Dana Rexx, and with me is my friend Maika Rose, and we are both independent recording artists and singer-songwriters based in Europe. You can listen to us on our YouTube channel and on your favorite podcast platform. Season 3! Ta-da!
Oh my god! Yeah, no, it is insane.
Exciting.
Thinking about it, when we started the podcast, I've never done a podcast before, so I was just like, oh my god, are there even going to be enough topics for us to cover? Is this too niche? But no, there's a fuck ton of topics to cover.
Absolutely. It's crazy. And every day we're like, oh my God, we have to talk about this. This is another one.
Yes.
It's
the
really
amount
cool.
of times we send each other stuff and we're just like, we have to talk about this on the podcast. And now actually my mother started. She's like, oh my God, you should talk about this. And I'm just like, But this is exactly what we want. We want people to kind of send us in topics. If there's anything you want us to talk about,
Yes.
let us know.
Please do.
It is insane. So today's topic, very, I don't think it's controversial. I think it's basic fact in this day and age.
Yes.
We are talking today about the percentage of women in festival lineups and stuff like awards. So, Dana, why don't you start us off? Because I have a feeling you have a couple of gold nuggets here.
Yeah, well, I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time because it has been a problem forever. And now it's kind of in the picture, but not really. You know, nothing is really happening. Let's be honest. So I kind of analyzed, besides all the numbers that we can see a lot of feminist social media outlets talk about, there's She Said So, there's girls, oh God, I forget.
Girls Behind the Rock Show?
Also, GBTRS. Yes, exactly. There's femnoise. There's a myriad of people making memes and checking numbers and putting out these really cool pictures with all the numbers on them that you can really clearly see the differences. And it's amazing. It's just, I don't know. Is it getting us somewhere? I feel that the people who need to see these numbers are not the people who are following these feminist things.
A lot of times, yes. But sometimes they actually raise quite a lot of awareness. More of that later, but you go ahead.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying stop. I'm saying please continue, but we need to get this in front of other people, like the promoters of those festivals for one. Because they do feel kind of a little bit maybe critiqued, but do they really know how bad it is? I don't think so, because they're just continuing, aren't they?
They should, because they're doing it.
Well, yeah, but they're just continuing with what they were doing. So I checked. Rock Werchter is like a very, very, it's the largest band-based festival in Belgium. It's huge. It has headliners like Metallica and also Madonna or Billie Eilish, or, they are, along with Pukkelpop, by the way, because Pukkelpop is also a really, really huge one. I think Werchter is a little bit more... The age is a little bit higher, where Pukkelpop, they really go for people in their 20s. Werchter is probably 30s, 40s something, or older, because it's been going for a while. So it's more rocky, So what did Werchter do this year? It's a special year, obviously, because last year was Corona and they weren't able to do anything. This year was half Corona, so they did like a new concept, which was Park Life, Werchter Park Life, and it was basically just with less people, more spread out, less artists, like one or two per day, and it was during the whole of July that they did events on the usual place where they usually, the place where they usually do it.
The venue,
So it's outside, so it's in a field, the field. And so I follow them, and I was looking at all these announcements of this Park Live lineup that was going to come, and I was I was disgusted. I'm just going to say it as it is. I was very disgusted because it was, again, all men. But like all men. Not even like a girl-fronted thing or like with one girl person in the band. The whole band is men.
Everything is... When you look, all of it.
Everything. So you have like 5 pictures of the first 5 artists that were going to come in the first week of July. And one solo guy and then 5 bands. And all the band members are all men. So it's Balthazar. This is, it's a lot of Belgian bands, okay? But so Balthazar, Goose, Arsenal, Tin Fingers, Sonar, I have it in front of me. There's Little Kleine, that's our like rapper I think this is a guy from Holland. Ronnie Flex and the Fam, Equal Idiots, Black Box Revelation. I am now already, so this is the whole of week 1. There has not been one
Jesus
woman.
Christ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bazaar, Gabriel Rios, and 9th of July, then the first woman, Eefje de Visser. And you know why I think they booked her? Because they had already gotten so much backlash from the lineup being so male that they said, let's just put a woman here. It's disgusting. Then again, Bart Peters in de Ideale mannen, men. Tourist Le MC, also a guy. So we've only had one woman. We're already at 15th of July. Glints, Goose again. Charles is a woman. 16th of July, 1 woman. And then who else do they put in that same lineup? Emma Bale, another woman. So that's 2 in one day. And for the rest, I can continue. I'm just looking at it. It's 3 more women for the whole of July. So that's 5
maybe like
women.
5 or 6 women, yeah.
Yes. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the whole of July, 5 women. I mean, there are a lot of women bands or female fronted bands or even like with one person that's a woman in the band, bands in Belgium or solo artists. This can't just be it. This can't be it.
No. It is insane.
I don't know what to say.
No, it is insane because there's a similar thing. I'll just follow that up with the one that happened in Germany. One of the ones, because there's 2 things. So there's a German festival called Rock am Ring. I think it takes place in Hamburg, I'm pretty sure, so where I'm currently living. And it started announcing its lineup for 2022. Because we didn't have any festivals happening here in 2021 because live shows are still not really permitted. There are some that are going on now, but like with strict COVID measures. But anyway, so they was announcing their lineup. First announcement, 107 men, 2 women. Right? Yes. It gets worse, right? They changed it later. They added more people. 197 men. 10 women. And this website where I got this from, it's not a website, it's an Instagram account. Again, it's a music women Instagram account. We have this we have several societies, but we have one society in Germany that's spread out across the different Bundesländer, so the different states. And they were calling attention to this, and they actually got a whole lot of attention for these specific posts, right? So that was amazing. I think it actually landed in the newspaper and everything. They did a comparison post for Rock am Ring, which also obviously rock music, right? They did a comparison post. In 2010, the lineup percentage of women was 6.36%. The worst one was in 2013, when it was 1.7% women.
Oh my God.
2022, so this next lineup, 5.58%. So it's gotten worse over the years. It's not gotten better, it's gotten worse. And then one of the comparisons they made is that the beer at this festival has more percent than women in this lineup.
Yeah, that's funny.
Right? So
it's crazy.
It is insane. And they started getting so much backlash for it. Did they change their lineup?
No,
they didn't.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
And when I talk to my friends about this, I don't know if you have this, but I talk to friends about this who are like metalheads or rock music, like into rock music. And they're like, oh, I have very few bands that I like that are like female fronted. And I'm like, yeah, but do you know a lot of female fronted bands? And they're like, I mean, not that many, but I also just don't like them as much. And I was like, yeah, but how do you know if you like them if you never actually hear them?
Yeah.
Because at those festivals, they book men. We were talking about this in the Lady Gaga episode. They book men with no experience and no women with no experience.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to get experience if you're not getting booked? It's the same as like getting into the work environment and not getting a job because you're supposed to have 3 years of job experience before you get a fucking job.
Yep.
It's the same fucking shit, but men get hired.
I know. And it's really insane and frustrating. I was also looking at what Rexx was saying, announcing for 2022. And listen to this. So these are the ones that are announced already. Faith No More. So completely male band. Old male band, by the way. So, you know, it's not even like a new band. Metallica. Same. Pearl Jam, same. And then, 21 Pilots. So that is kind of a newer band. I mean, they're not as old as all the others. And those are the ones that are announced for 2022 thus far. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 bands. There's not one woman in there, while I'm sure, you know, there are a bunch of women that you could kind of book, or I don't know. I listen to a lot of women, so I do see a lot of women bands and solo artists in a lot of genres out there because I like listening to women. And right now, actually, I prefer putting on a song, you know, sung by a woman than a man. I prefer listening to women in this period of my life. So it's not that hard. There are a huge amount. And so
you know what people will say, though? You know what they will say, and what my friends also say. I've discussed this topic with my friends, and I am a little bit shocked, really, to see how deeply ingrained it is in people. They will say, oh yeah, but I book a festival ticket because of the headliners, like because of bands I like and know. I'm like, yes, and I understand that also from a promotion aspect. You want bands that people know, and you want to have some headliners. But how do they get there?
Yeah.
They get there by being given a chance in the fucking first place.
Yes.
And if you're not giving women the chance to be seen, right, the chance to be those unknown bands in a lineup, you will never get to the point where they are the headliners.
I have a great example about this. I was just saying this to somebody, and I mean, look at the Tomorrowland main stage. So Tomorrowland is the biggest EDM festival basically in the world, and it's here in Belgium. And so the main stage in 2019 was Carl Cox, The Chainsmokers, DJ Diesel, Don Diablo, Oliver Hyperlink or whatever. Oh no, that's wrong. It's Oliver Heldens. Sorry. I copied it long. It's the hyperlink. Steve Aoki, then Amelie Lenz, so one woman, then Black Coffee, 15Y Spectacle, I don't know how to say that, Alok, Hugh Gel, MC Stretch, and Tiesto. So that's one woman on the this is only main stage, okay? On the main stage of Tomorrowland. I understand that you can argue that there is no female DJ who is as well known as Tiesto or Carl Cox. But then I counter you, and I am a DJ. I have been a DJ. I've been in that world. That I counter you that if you do not put women on the main stage, they can't become as famous as. And I also counter that I am very sure that there are a lot of female DJs out there that can mix and play Carl Cox and Tiesto home, and who are so good behind the wheels of steel, but just are not booked and do not get the chance to show what they can do. If they would be booked, everybody would see that they were great and they would be booked again. But if you don't book them, you can't see, you're not booked.
Yeah. You know what men would say to this? I'm just trying to play the devil's advocate here, right? So men would say to this, or, the kind of guys who say, oh, but not all men. They would say, but, men, a lot of men are better than those guys as well. They're not given the chance either. Fuck that.
Well, maybe honestly, they should be booked too.
Maybe they should be booked too. Maybe they should be given the chance. Yeah, but you can't argue against something like this with, oh, but men aren't given that chance either. Because you see so many men at the top that they must have been given that chance at some point.
They must
in comparison to women doing this. And they have been given that chance. So it's not really an argument to make.
No, and then they obviously also, felt the heat with all the Grammys, backlash with the Grammys. There was a hashtag. I'm trying to find it on my document, but the scroll is going fast. Hashtag Grammys so male.
Mm-hmm.
That was the hashtag that was used back in 2018. So I'm sure that Tomorrowland felt the backlash of that main stage lineup, and then 2020 came along, and they obviously had a lineup foreseen. It was cancelled because of COVID, but the whole lineup was done. And what had they done? They had put not one woman on the main stage this time, but two to appease us. So instead of just one, it was now two with Cruella and Charlotte de Witte.
Coming. Mm-hmm.
And what do you want us to do? Thank you for this? Should we thank you for this? This is still bullshit.
Yeah,
it's still bullshit.
It's a lot of people will say, "Oh, it's the market." And at the end of the day, they are somehow correct. It is the market. You also need to book these people who are well known, because that's the people want to see, and it's they also kind of need to have their job, be able to be allowed to do their job and stuff.
There are a lot of women out there who are artists and do exactly the same. So
I don't agree. Those people and at the end of the day, if those people get booked everywhere, they're getting such a huge piece of the cake.
Yeah.
That they won't miss two things less. I'm assuming. I'm not in your finances, so I don't know. If you're one of those big artists and you're like, oh no, I would miss that money, come at me, prove me wrong. But I'm just...
Yeah, but why aren't the women allowed to have that money? Why is it only that the men are allowed to, not miss out on income? And all of these women that are not booked are missing out on income.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So it's again a non-argument. I mean, I have Coachella in front of me. You have the headliner on the poster, and then you have, so that's in the huge font, and then the line underneath is a little bit slightly smaller font, and then you have all the rest that's in a you can't read it font. Yeah. So you have this for the 3 stages of Coachella. So let me just read the first line, which is the headliner. And then the second line, and maybe I'll read the third line as well, which is kind of the in-between, you can nearly read it font.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first up, Coachella, or no, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They only have one stage or something. I have no idea. I've never been to Coachella. I don't know how many stages they have. I'm used to festivals with 12 stages because I'm from Belgium. Yeah. But so Coachella 2017, I'm supposing. Childish Gambino is the headliner on Friday. Then you have Janelle Monáe, supposing this is a woman. I don't know her, but Janelle sounds like a woman. So great. Then you have the 1975, DJ Snake, Diplo, Rufus Du Sol, and then Blackpink. Okay, that's a lot of women. That's a lot of women in one. That's great. But then you have Anderson .Paak. So I already count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 men, 2 women groups. Okay, then you have Casey Musgrave, so that's 3 women. But then there's Juice WRLD, Los Tucanes de Tijuana. I mean, again, it's not equal. I'm not saying it absolutely has to be. It's just that I don't always understand why it's such a problem. Next day, Saturday, Tame Impala is the headliner. Then Solange. Is Solange a woman?
I think so.
Might be. Kid Cudi, Weezer, Aphex Twin, J Balvin, then Billie Eilish. Great. Bass Nectar. So that one, okay, let's say that's kind of equal.
I'm sorry, why was Billie Eilish not the headliner?
Because this is 2018.
Or 17, yeah, okay.
Or 17. So nearly. Now she would be the headliner. And then we have Sunday with Ariana Grande as the headliner. Yes. Then Khalid, Zed, Gesaffelstein. I don't know them, but sounds like a man. Bad Bunny, Dylan Francis, Churches. Okay, female fronted. And then YG. I don't know these people. So again, it's only Ariana Grande and Churches in the first two lines. Then Lizzo. Lizzo is in there somewhere.
Hey!
Oh, wow.
See,
Yay.
This is the thing, right? When I hear you reading these out and I'm like, oh my God, there's so many women in there compared to other stuff. But it's only compared to other stuff.
Yeah, it's two in the first two lines and the rest is male.
It's so sad that I get excited about that because I'm like, oh my God, there's more women in this that I'm used to.
Yeah.
But again, like we've talked about key change before. Key change is a thing in Europe where festivals can sign up to and they get funding for this, where you have to have 50% male, 50% female artists. And I think that includes people who are musicians on stage as well. So it's a great initiative and I absolutely fucking love it. And like some people freak out about it because they're like, oh, it's like having a women quota in workplaces and people only get there when they don't have they don't get there on their worth. They don't get there on how good they are. They just get there because there's a quota.
Yeah, but that brings us back to gatekeepers, right? The 2018 Grammys was the one that kind of sparked the lineups are so male, the Grammys are so male. So there was a hashtag Grammys so male with not only, less categories for women, but where they had put the categories together, there were just no nominations of women. So how can a woman win in like a mixed sex category if there aren't even any nominations? I have a little piece of an article here that said that the only women presented a solo Grammy award during the whole awards was Alicia Cara, who took home Best New Artist. And all the rest of the Grammys were awarded to men. I mean, I've said this already. If they were the best, then that's fine. It's just that the Grammys is not equal, right? Because you have to be a member of the Grammys to be able to be nominated for a Grammy or to even have your song voted for at the Grammys. People don't know this. People think that, oh, you have a hit? Oh, well, then you might win a Grammy. No. If you're not a member of the thing, of the club, then you can't be nominated and you can't win it.
Gee, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Grammys is a club. It's a membership club. And you know what?
So it's basically picking favorite members. It's not even just picking...
because they have to vet you. So it's not that you can go to their website and say, I want to become a member and pay a membership and that's it. And then submit and whatever you want. No, you actually have to be referenced to them by an already Grammy member. And guess what? Not a lot of women are Grammy members. So all those men who are members are all, referencing other men that are in their men club, saying, "Oh, this guy is so cool. Yeah, networking, blah blah blah. They want to become member of the Grammys." And so they have this whole list every year of people who would like to become a member that they look at and vet. I'm sure. I mean, prove me wrong, guys. Prove me wrong, please. But this list is probably 85 or more % male. So if they have X amount, I don't know if they have X amount of places every year to fill, or if they just vet everybody and everybody who is not fake, gets in,
their standards,
passes the test, whatever. Because there are a couple of standards. You have to have like X songs out or X amount of X songs with a minimum of like 15 minutes altogether or something. There's more to it than just I want to become a member. So there are some things you have to have. But I mean, all these men are becoming members all the time, and because it's like a gatekeeping thing. I'm sure that at the start the committee was an all man thing, and so a lot of men came in, and now we're still reap what you sow. We're still kind of lagging on that because back in the day it was an all men club, and so now they're gatekeeping still for that club, and
probably like some of them probably unconsciously. Yeah,
unconsciously. I'm not saying that's all on purpose and all not all men. I'm aware, but still. And then you have Mr. Ehrlich, who is the kind of the big honcho, the top honcho of the Grammys. You know what he actually said when a magazine or like a news outlet talked to him and interviewed him about this whole male-female Grammys awards and also performances on the day lineup problem. He says it has to, and I quote, "It has to begin with women who have the creativity in their hearts and souls, who want to be musicians, who want to be engineers, producers, and want to be part of the industry on the executive level." And then they continue with, "They need to step up because I think they would be welcome." They need to step up because I think they would be welcome. So we have to step up. But there's no room for us.
Yeah,
so you're gatekeeping the man gate in your man cave place. And you're telling us because we have to step up and be better producers and make better music, and because you think that we would be welcome? Are we welcome or not? He says, "I don't have personal experience of those kinds of brick walls that you face, but I think it's upon us." So he doesn't have any experience with gatekeeping. Well, that's because he's a man, okay? And then he says, us as an industry, we need to make, the welcome mat very obvious, breeding opportunities for all people who want to be creative and paying it forward and creating that next generation of artists. Yes, that is correct. And it's good that you put that in your last line, because that's what everybody's going to remember that you said. But what did you say in the beginning? That we need to step up? Fuck you. We've been trying to step up, but you've been keeping us down the whole time for years now. What do you want us to do?
I think it's a very biased opinion, because obviously he said himself he has never had that kind of break. So I don't think he understands. Yeah, I don't think he understands.
Clearly not.
It's not an excuse for how he behaves, but he obviously doesn't understand how it works from the other side.
Absolutely
he obviously
not.
Doesn't see that there are so many awesome female engineers and producers and artists that absolutely deserve to be in that category, that absolutely deserve to be members of the Grammys if they want to. And they are just not being seen.
No.
Even though they are putting themselves into the places.
Yeah.
They try. But like it comes back to the festival lineups as well. You are not allowing women to be put into places to be seen.
And then you tell us, "Oh, but you need to be seen." Well, fuck you.
Exactly.
Oh,
so
my God.
it's a self-perpetuating circle. And I think it's really great that we have, I don't know how long this has been going on. I'm sure women throughout the centuries or throughout the last decades have been on about this so much, all the time, constantly. But I think it's great that this year specifically, it has been such a huge topic. These past couple of years, it has become more and more a topic that people discuss. And I still think that it needs to start with us and the general public. Because when I talk to my friends about this, it frustrates me to no end that they're like, "Oh, but I book festival tickets because of bands that I like, and bands that I like are usually like male-fronted bands, and I'm just like, yes, but do you not understand that you sometimes like how do you discover bands? And they're like, oh, I get them from my friends. How do your friends discover bands? You know, a lot of it is going to be they see them somewhere live.
Yeah.
Right? That's how I discover a lot of bands.
It's a vicious circle. And I do the same. I also go to a party or a festival because of the lineup. Now, I don't go to a lot of band festivals because I don't really like to see a lot of male bands. And what's on the lineup of a band festival? Male bands. So if they would put more women on these lineups, I would go. Because that's what I want to see.
People. Yeah.
You know? And yes, I would also watch the male bands and then maybe say, oh my God, I didn't know that the Killers were so good. You know?
Yeah.
I know of them, but I have no idea what they do. And I would stay there and say, oh, the Killers, right. Let's see what all the fuss is about. And if they would be great, then I would listen to their music from then on. Because I would have discovered them there, you know?
This actually takes me back and forward to stuff that we have discussed or will discuss, and that we've talked about a lot in private as well, is that it's always assumed that things that concern women will not sell, that women also want to watch men, you know, that it's the boy band era, so nobody wants to see a woman, or it's writing about women in a way that is just your everyday kind of thing that happens to women. Oh, nobody wants to read that. And then all the fucking time, these gatekeepers, these editors, these people who are in power get fucking surprised because women will amass to these people. They will amass to these women who they can relate to. They can relate to the people in these books. They can relate to the people on the stage because they are women. And they're like, you're like me. And they get this great, humongous following of people. And the people in charge are always like, oh my God, I'm so surprised. I thought this wouldn't sell. Because you have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
And it always comes back to this. They're like, oh, it won't sell. How do you know? How do you fucking know?
Yeah.
History has taught us differently.
Yeah.
History has taught us that every time you've given a woman a chance, the public has gone wild.
I think that's a great point. And what I actually did after reading that Grammy thing was, okay, well, let's have a look, because this is the 2018 Grammys, okay? So it's in January 2018. So what that means is all the people who are there nominated and getting awards released music in 2017, okay? So I went to have a look to see if I could find a list of music that came out in 2017. And I found a list on Wikipedia, a very, very comprehensive list. It was only of albums, so full albums, not like EPs or singles. But I thought this is enough because it was huge. So I thought if I scroll through this and just write down all the women that I recognize immediately, so, you know, names that I know, because obviously you can see if you know, I don't know, Emma whatever is there, that's a woman. But if I don't know Emma, I'm not going to write her down. So I wrote down all of the ones that I knew. And here's the list. I just want to go over this just to make my point. So the people can actually hear and experience this for themselves. So one woman got Alicia Cara, took home Best New Artist in 2018. And these are all the women who released music in 2017. SZA, Charlie XCX, Taylor Swift, St. Vincent, Paramore is female-fronted, Selena Gomez, BB Rexha, Zara Larsson, I Will Go Faster, Nelly Furtado, Sheryl Crow, Texas, Mary J. Blige, Juliana Hatfield, Blondie, Dua Lipa, Ali X, I love Ali X, London Grammar, Katy Perry, Hey Violet, Lordi, Lana Del Rey, Kesha, Tori Amos, Zola Jesus, Anastasia, Madonna, Fergie, Demi Lovato, Miley Cyrus, Dolly Parton, Tamar Braxton. Is she Toni Braxton's daughter? Gwen Stefani, Lindsay Sterling, Margot Price does country, Kelly Clarkson, Rachel Platten, Willow Smith, Grace van der Waal, Sam Smith. I put him in there because there's also no gay people on the lineup of the Grammys. Evanescence, The Course, Paloma Faith, Sia, Tavlo, Laureen. And these are only the ones by scrolling through the list fast that I found that I recognized who are women. This is a long list. None of these were nominated or won anything or whatever. These people brought out full albums in 2017. Yeah. So how can Mr. Ehrlich stand there seriously saying in our faces that we have to step the fuck up? No words.
Yeah.
No words?
Yeah. No, it is insane. That was something else I wanted to say.
I mean, this is crazy, and I mean, this really proves that there is so much gatekeeping, and that a lot of people at the top, they I'm sure they're trying, but they just don't get it. They just don't get it.
Oh yeah, exactly. So what I wanted to say is, when you think of pop music and you think of pop icons, like icons of pop music, who do you think of? You think of Beyonce.
Madonna.
You think of Lady Gaga. You think of Madonna. You think of maybe even Cher. You think of women. You think of Ariana Grande. You think of Billie Eilish. You think of Kelly Clarkson even. These are pop icons.
Jessie
you don't
J.
think about the men first. Jessie J. Oh my God. You don't. There are a lot of men in pop music and they're really good, but they're not called pop icons.
Yeah. No.
So how can we, in all seriousness, say, oh, women need to step up?
I don't.
When they are dominating pop music.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Enough said. Honestly, enough said.
Enough said.
That is insane. It is.
On this bombshell.
This whole thing.
Let's end on this bombshell.
Let's end on this bombshell. I mean, let us know your comments. Honestly, let us know your comments in the comment section.
In the comments,
send us a DM.
Talk to us. What do you think?
You can find our socials in the show notes.
What's your
perfect
lineup?
About this? Yes. Yeah. What's your perfect lineup? I'd be interested to know. So that's all for today. Thank you for tuning in to Unboxing Women, the first episode of season 3. Oh my God. Don't forget to support your favorite artists through Jesus Christ, I can't do this today. Do not forget to support.
It's the first time.
First time in a while. Don't forget to support your favorite artists through merch or donations. My name is Maika Rose and I've been chatting with Rexx. This is a weekly show, so changing here. Tune back in next week, same time, same place. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.